All the South African Superbike action is proudly brought to you by NGK Spark Plugs, Bridgestone Tyres, and Hero Motorcycles. The championship revs into action as we head down into the mother city to Cape Town and Killarney International Raceway for the very first round. It's going to be an interesting season to see how the 1600s and the Bridgestone Superbikes all combine into an incredible championship as we saw in 2020. The man looking to take another title will be Kinsella. He steps up onto the very first time we see Honda back in South African Superbike racing for a long, long time. And it's a big step up to make after a great season on the R1 last year. That CBR 5-blade is definitely going to be firing. It may take a couple of races to get it up to speed, but there's no doubt it's got huge potential. And Rian Fourie from Honda SA is definitely looking for it to be at the top end. And so is Kinsella with a little bit of pressure.
Super proud to have the Honda CBR 1000 RR-R. You know, it's an unbelievable weapon. It's so incredibly fast. But yeah, we're in the development stage. We understand where we are. You know, the bike already is surprising us how good it is. But we also understand that, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. So, you know, I've got 15 laps today, 2 15-lappers that I can do a bit of R&D on. So we're going to do that for the day and build a championship over the year.
Arguably his closest rival will come from Cape Town's David McFadden. Mad Max Motorcycles joining the Stunt SA and RPM Centre rider. He'll be looking for a challenge and possibly to be at the front end at his home track. On board the R1 that has been absolutely race tested and proven.
The plan is to, you know, always hear I win, and that's what we're working for. It's good to start the season strong, and obviously it's our home track, so we'll do our best and see what we can do. We want to just chip away, take points and take it like that and enjoy racing, eh?
How's your confidence going into today's run?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, the bike's good and we've done all the work we need to, so I'm confident and we'll see what we do. Racing's always a different thing to qualifying and practice, so let's see what we got, eh?
Always a big threat to the front end, particularly when he's on new machinery, will be Garrick Flock. And look out for Brandon Staffen and Brett Roberts on the 600cc bikes as they start to mix it up with the big 1000cc's. In that mix will be Jonathan Sherwin, Michael DeToy and Gareth Gaelig as they step up into the 1000cc battle for Bridgestone Superbikes and the National Championship class. Bridgestone Superbike champion Sifiso Temba's on the sideline with a broken motorcycle. He'll be looking to come back in round 2. Watch out for those Bridgestone rubber as they get onto the track for the first time in 2021 here in the Mother City. Our camera crew on standby to bring all that action to you. And it's going to be an incredible one. As they start to get the revs up, let's have a look and see how they line up on the grid. Pole position going to David McFadden. He's the man to beat here at his home track. Kinsella and Garrick Flock making up the front row. Brandon Staffen being the top 600cc rider ahead of Brett Roberts and Jonathan Sherwin. Jonathan Sherwin will be the man to beat in the Bridgestone Superbike Championship. He's on pole position there, down in 6th place. He's ahead of Michael DeToy. Gareth Gaelig in the 4th place in the Nationals. And look out for Henk Scaling and Robbie Pedrica at the back. Join us after the break though as we get ready to go now for race 1 of the NGK, SA, SBK and Bridgestone Superbikes combined. Welcome back to Killarney International Raceway and round 1 of the NGK, SA, SBK and Bridgestone Superbike Championship combined. Riders making their way around now on the formation lap, ready to go. David McFadden are all trying to beat you today, and will Kinsella be able to do the unthinkable and give Honda its first victory here in its first time out? It'll be a tough ask there because David McFadden has been quickest all weekend long. Certainly looking for a chance now to just start his season in the right mood. As he makes his way to the front, we're on board here and looking for a chance now as everybody gets ready to go to battle here on the Killarney International Raceway. 3.3 Ks of black stuff to play with down in the Mother City. A little bit of wind to contend with as well. That'll be a big contention, particularly on the breakers down into turn 1 and turn 5. But let's see what's going to happen now as the 5-second board is about to go up. As the marshals make their way off the circuit, we are ready to go now for race 1 action of 2021. Oh, big wheelie up the line there from McFadden as he heads towards turn 1. Is it going to be Sella on the Honda who gets his first whole shot for HRC in race 1? It is. And look at Staffen throwing in the 600 in the mix there. Great start from Brandon Staffen. As I said, he's up to the third spot just behind Garrick Flock. He's outgunned his fellow Cape Tonian McFadden. And McFadden will use a little bit extra squirt into turn 2. Yes, he does. Gets up thousands 1, 2, and 3 now. And it's Brandon Staffen who hangs on to the lead of the 600s ahead of the Lights by Linear bike of the hard-charging Brett Roberts. Honda versus the Yamahas. 1 and 2 at this point in time. It's Honda at the lead and the 2 Yamahas behind that. As they come through damps for the first time, you can see the Lights by Linear rider Brett Roberts trying to close down on Staffen. Staffen opening up a little margin over him, but he closes under braking, heading into the big right-hander through Car Care Clinic Malmesbury. Onto the back straight for the first time, and at the bottom of the back straight they're going to be doing 280 kilometers an hour on that R1 and CBR 5 lane. Little bump in the middle is always a big danger point and a big talking point amongst the riders. They use it as a braking point, of course, in the races, and you can see David McFadden has used that to very good effect to close in on Kinsella. McFadden has basically been fastest out of all the sessions this weekend, and even this morning in the final qualifying session put it on pole position, but he just got a bit of a bogged start as they went off the line, and he got a little wheelie off the start as well, which just shut down the amount of power he was able to get into that back wheel and put through those Bridgestone rubber in towards KFM corner, and it dropped him to 4th place. He's now attacking for first, looking for a way through there on the multiple SA champion in Kinsella. Remember, he's looking for his 7th title. It'll be amazing to see if Kinsella can do that, and he's looking for a chance now to take on a double championship winner behind him there in David McFadden. Multiple, of course, Western Province champion, and the thorn in the side of both of those riders last year, and it looks like, oh, and speaking of side, out the saddle there for McFadden. McFadden, a big moment coming out of damps. Huge movement on that motorcycle, and very lucky to survive that one. And I think Garrick Flock would have seen that. I was about to say Garrick Flock will be the thorn in his side. He was already poking up the inside there as there was a big moment for McFadden. Here comes the R1 around the outside. Can he find a way through into Cape Town corner? No, the Cape Town man has to back out. Stunt SA being helped out, of course, there by RPM Centre, and of course a long-standing relationship with them. And there we go, change up for the lead. Just getting on the inside there. McFadden hits the front. So David McFadden hits the front for the first time now. Sella into second. He tries to come straight back in, and he does. Sella just returns the favour into KFM corner and puts the Honda back into the lead again. So it's Fireblade versus the 2 R1s. The battle continues from 2020. And we're looking for more of the same. There's no doubt about from what 2020 showed us in this championship. Further back, Gareth Gaelic fighting with Henk Scaling. Nice little fight there between them. That is for 7th, 8th and 9th place, with Robbie Patrica just behind the two of them. It's kind of 3 battles at the moment. It's the lead one we're seeing through turn 3 at the moment and heading down into Damstip. Stunt SA, RPM and Mad Max all over the back of that King Price Extreme Cellar Racing Honda. Great to have Honda back in South African Superbike Championship racing, particularly at the top end of the championships. But the 2 Yamahas, of course, have had lots of time to get sorted out. And let's see whether or not David McFadden and Garrick Flock can do anything about King Cellar on the King Price Extreme Honda. I say the King because he's going for his 7th SA title at the moment in the country. There's not many other people that have got that kind of caliber behind them, but McFadden is certainly looking to up the game slightly as he goes once again through the left-hand flick. This time he's a lot better on the brakes in the turn 1 KFM corner and hangs on to the lead. So McFadden hits the front. Sella in second. Further back there, Gareth Gaelic going through turn 2 behind Henk Scaling. Henk Scaling and Robbie Patrica. Big pity we don't have Sifiso Temba there. I mentioned it earlier on, the second of the King Price Extreme Honda men crashing out yesterday and destroying the Honda. Unfortunately, wasn't able to be fixed. So he'll be sitting on the sideline in his first outing to try and retain his number 1 plate from 2020. Sifiso Temba, of course, seasoned campaigner as well, now coming into his 5th or 6th season of Superbike racing and almost up to the top echelon. Here's a move from Garrick Flock though. How much closer do you want to be? Flock with a big bump out of Malmesbury Car Care Clinic corner, and as he heads down towards the bottom end of the circuit, he just had to roll out of that one slightly because there was a big moment for him coming out of Malmesbury. You get it wrong there, it's close to 200 k's an hour that you're going onto that back straightaway. Banging through the gearbox. You can see McFadden opening up a bit of a margin now and getting away from Sella and Flock, who are fighting there for 2nd and 3rd. Sella's just going defensive to keep Garrick Flock out. Garrick Flock on a new bike there, of course, and a change up for the 600s. It's Staffen now who drops to 2nd. Brett Roberts who leads out down towards turn 1 KFM. So So Roberts now in 4th overall, but leading the 600cc battle. You'll see them probably just come in the background there. No, just missing on that shot, but you can see Flock now trying to find a way past on Seller. Out of turn 2, G-Energy corner. Brett Roberts and Brandon Staffen putting on a show there for the 600cc riders. 3rd place at this point in time is Gary Flock. That man there, DCCS Mining. Oh, another moment for him. Wow, that was even bigger than the last one. The back end of that R1 stepped out big time there for Gary Flock. Change of shorts at the end of the straight, please, for Gary Flock, because, man, that was huge. Very lucky to survive that one. I think that's why he's probably rolled out of it ever so slightly and going to maybe just take it easy for the rest of this one. He knows there's some kind of issue on the back end of that bike, and it's not working like it should, but Gary Flock very lucky to survive that. McFadden now equidistant from Seller to Seller from Flock. They are evenly matched, but the 600s are coming. Brett Roberts and Staffen fighting out for 600cc honours. Heading towards KFM corner. Staffen late on the brakes, closing down on the back end of Brett Roberts. The two of them have fought it out at regional championship level, and of course now at national championship level, looking to do more of the same. As they come down towards G-Energy corner, the 2 600s having a go. Jonathan Sherwin down in 6th place, all on his own, so ahead of Michael DeToy. They've just crossed the line. 4.5 seconds between McFadden and Seller. Still with a little bit of work to do, of course, on that Honda to get it up to speed. Well, not up to speed, it's got great speed, but it's just to get the whole package sorted out so that Seller can use it to the best advantage he can. And I'm sure that Steve Cannon and Rion Fourie from Honda South Africa will be working side by side with each other to get that Honda to the pace. Possibly McFadden is able to pull away now on the R1. There's a lot of time and effort being put in, of course, by the Stunt SA and RPM Centre boys, and by McFadden himself. Of course, being helped out by his good friend there, and that'll all be a big help to McFadden, not having to do all the hard work himself to prep the bike and to set it all up. If he's able to do this kind of pace, it's certainly working out. We are sitting at 4 laps to go, so 3.5 as they come to Damps. Interesting to see how things might have changed up here in this championship. Last year, Seller was all over the back of McFadden. McFadden and him fighting hard on even machinery, both on R1s last year. It looks like maybe the Honda needs a little bit extra time to get it up to pace, for race pace we're talking about at national championship level. But I can tell you something, you can't have a better team than possibly what they're going to do between Honda South Africa and Steve Cannon to get that King Price Extreme Honda up to speed. Robbie Bajika being caught and possibly going to be looking for a chance to pass him here. Maybe there's an opportunity here for him to be in the mix. And in fact, they're coming up on a whole bunch of back markers. Not only Bajika, they're catching Scaling and Gareth Gaelig as well. Let's see whether or not that's going to affect this race in any way with 3 to go. 3 laps to go now as he closes onto the back of the back markers for the first time. Padrika will be the first man he comes up. Shouldn't be too much of an issue to get through there on Robbie Padrika. He'll just squeeze past him, probably going to go around the high side into turn number 2, G&EG corner. Kinsella's got to still do the same. He's now got to take on Henk Scaling and Gareth Gaelig possibly as well. Coming up on Scaling and Gaelig now. They, of course, are fighting for what is 8th and 9th place on track. And about to be lapped and passed by the leader. Van Daars on the... Oh, yo, that was close. Squeezed out Scaling. I think Henk saw him coming, though. Now goes around the high side of Gareth Gaelig, running wide. Whoa! 600 heading towards turn 2, G&EG corner. Staffen having a look. Oh, not close enough. A look on the inside, didn't quite make it stick, though. Very close between the two of them. As it stands, coming into the closing stages, David McFadden looking to wrap this one up for the 1000cc class ahead of Seller and Flock, and then it'll be Gareth Gaelig for 4th. 600cc's, of course, Roberts and Staffen. But coming to the checkered flag, it's McFlash McFadden to take the first win of 2021. We'll be ecstatic about that for the Stunt SA and RPM Centre. We'll definitely be looking forward to doing more of the same. Confirmation of the results there. David McFadden taking the victory over Clint Seller and Gareth Flock with a little bit of issues there. He'll be concerned about that. Brandon Staffen taking the 600s ahead of Brett Roberts. And Bridgestone Superbikes went to Jonathan Sherwin.
I just put my head down and got myself in a rhythm. I wasn't sure, what Clint's bike could do or what he could do, so I thought I'd just get to the front and just control the race. I got a bit of a crappy start, but then I just put my head down and chipped away at it. I'm really fortunate to have the guys behind me, and we've got a good team, and everyone backs me, and we're here to have fun and then get the results.
Awesome, well job. Good luck for race 2.
We'll see if we can do, I don't know what more we can do, but we'll try. Thanks.
Welcome back to Cape Town, the mother city, and Killarney International Raceway now for race 2 of the opening round of the NGK SA SBK and Bridgestone Superbike Championships combined. Windy conditions continue to blow here in Cape Town, making it very difficult, and great to see some live action via our Facebook and YouTube feeds. Even the riders coming off the circuit and watching the race almost instantaneously after they finished up race 1's battle. It was McFadden who took the first victory and Seller in second place. Will Seller be able to do anything about David McFadden? We'll have to wait and see as those two get together onto the circuit, and off the circuit the two of them having a little chat about whose bike's quicker than whose. I think David McFadden says mine's quicker. No, Clint says mine's definitely quicker in a straight line. But wait till Honda gets that bike sorted out. There's going to be a big rivalry between the two of them. Look out for a bit of a resurgence from Garrick Flock as well. He definitely had some rear end issues there with that shock. Hopefully they've been able to sort it out and get him ready to go now for race number 2 as they roll to the line to make their way into the battleground yet again for race 2 here of this championship. And what a start in the mother city there from David McFadden. Can he do the same and possibly take the double here today? Double duties for Henk Scaling. He's participating in the Sunbed ZX10R Masters Cup as well as the Bridgestone Superbikes. Under starter's orders, waiting for that 5-second board to go. Lights to go on and to go off, and as soon as we go off, we go racing. It was Sello who got the whole shot in the first one. Can he do more of the same, or are we going to see some 600s possibly outgunning the 1000s towards turn 1? Sello has got a great start and he hangs on, but David McFadden under pressure there from Flock as they go into turn number 1. Flock goes around the outside, Scaling on the inside. As we see a bit of manoeuvring there from Jono Sherwin to try and find his way through. There comes McFadden. Can he go almost instantaneously to the lead? No, Seller hangs on for now. Keeps out the two R1s behind him as they start to put the pressure on right from the word go onto the King Price Extreme Honda CBR Fireblade of Clint Seller. Behind that, Staffen has got the lead in the 600cc's ahead of Brett Roberts. Jono Sherwin unfortunately dropped back ever so slightly. And it looks like it might be Michael Detroit who leads out at this stage in the Bridgestone Superbikes. Sherwin just hanging through and eventually squeezing out Michael Detroit. So a change up there between the Bridgestone Superbike contenders. Here's late braking from McFlash. He just can't get through on Seller. Seller's so late on the brakes as he goes into turn 5 and hangs on for now. Yeah, oh, what a move there from David McFadden. Where did he find that? Diving through on the kink onto the main straight. And he finds a way to get through on Clint Seller. Seller would have thought to himself, hang on a second. You cannot go and make an overtaking maneuver through there. But David McFadden says, yes, you can. And sticks it in nicely to make the move to the front. Can he now get away from Seller right from the word go and control things? Remember, it's a slightly shortened version of the 15 laps that were originally scheduled for this one. We're a 10 lapper this time out. And the rest, oh, another big moment there for Garrick Flock. What is going on with the rear end of that motorcycle? He's not going to be happy about that. It's like a pogo stick he's on the back end of that bike. The rear shock giving him some big issues there. And probably going to be requiring a second change of shorts for today's race action, because that was another big moment there for Flock on the R1. Brett Roberts closing on Staffen now for 600s. Oh, a big look over the shoulder there from Brandon Staffen. Good to see the two Cape Town boys having some fun on the 600s there for 4th and 5th place overall. Staffen controlling things at this point in time, but he's got a bit of work to do there. It's the AJH cooling bike out front ahead of course, Brett Roberts, the two of them on the R6 Yamahas. Continuing to have some fun and games there from the 600cc's point of view. Flock's gone missing. Garrick Flock's gone missing. Garrick Flock has gone missing, possibly pulled into pit lane. I think he may have pulled into pit lane. He's pitting just below me here on my left-hand side of the commentary booth that we're in the main control tower. And I think Garrick Flock might have pulled into pit lane there and out of this one. Just listening to see if I can hear an R1 rolling in here. It certainly sounds that way, but Garrick Flock with some problems on the rear end of that bike, which means he's going to have to possibly retire it from the second heat of the NGK SBK Championship. Sella trying to hang on to McFadden. He's not going to let McFadden get away as much as he did in the first heat. He could be in a bit of fun and games here for this one. Down the back straight they come. R1 in full flight with David McFadden at the helm. Probably going to be just over the 250, 240k an hour mark as they get on the brakes. 600s will be 230 odd k's an hour before they climb on the brakes into fast drawn corner. Lights by Linear taking on the AJH cooling bike there, and the battle between them is actually for third overall. Certainly some changes on the CBR 5 blade there for Kinsella to stay with McFadden. Hasn't quite got away like he did in the first heat. Riding out of Stunt SA, RPM Center and Mad Max Motorcycles. Ahead of that King Price Extreme Honda of Kinsella. 2600 still continuing their little fight out. Brett Roberts, as I mentioned in the first heat, comes out of a motocross background, so getting to grips with the two-wheel side of circuit racing has not been too much of a difficult change up for him. A lot of guys tend to go the other way around from circuit racing to motocross. Moving to Jonathan Sherwin down in the lead of the Bridgestone Superbike Championship so far. So Gareth Gaelic behind him. He's third place overall in the national Superbike class. Sherwin will think to himself, hang on a second, if I can get up this far into the race, maybe I can get that BMW that I'm on to be in contention for SA Superbike Championship. With a multiple champion on board in Kinsella. Price Extreme Honda CBR 5 blade. There is Henk Skalik further back there in the pack. Just outside of the top 5. He's in 7th place. Looking to close things down, I think. Is that on the 7 bike? Yes, it is. Of Michael Dutoy. Could be a bit of a fight here between Dutoy and Skalik for what will be 2nd place in the Bridgestone Superbike Championship. Just cruising through KFM corner. He literally is just controlling things, I think. I think Sella's come up close and personal, but realizes he's probably not got the machine underneath him that he needs just yet, but with the development with Canon and Honda, that might change up into the next round. Nice braking, late braking from Brett Roberts to try and find a way through on Staffen. Staffin's making it very difficult for Brett Roberts to get through. Nice fight between those two for the 600 side of things. Going through Car Care Clinic corner now and back onto the back straight away. Turning into everything she's got. 5th gear, 6th gear. Now just a full handful of throttle before you come off. Just over that braking bump and into turn 5. Rolling through here for the 2nd last time now. 2 to go. As McFash passes the line and completes another lap. 0.8 of a second down to Sella. So Kinsella still with a little bit of work to do if he wants to take this first win for Honda. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Coming up on back markers now. Robbie Padrika will be the first bike that they catch in the back markers roll. Into the back markers now. Will Sella try and use this back marker, maybe catch up McFlash if it doesn't go according to plan. McFlash going through turn 3, damp step. Oh, nice move there from Padrika, just waving his fellow Captonian through. Sella now going to have to do the same thing, possibly around the outside of Robbie Padrika. No, he waits, comes onto the back straight and eventually finds a way through there on Robbie Padrika. Head down and towards turn 5 they go again. That might be enough there for David McFadden, not Robert McFadden, sorry, Dave McFadden to hang on for the win. He's got a lap to go as they cross the line this time. Last lap for David McFadden. Sella has tried hard. He's been a lot closer this time than what he was in the first one. So definitely some improvements there coming out of Kinsella. Let's see if we can keep it all together now. Remember, our next round of this championship is certainly going to be a big one. flying down towards turn 3 for the last time. There's David McFadden. Stunt SA, RPM Centre and Mad Max Motorcycles entry. Looking for a double victory here today. And a good start to his championship campaign for National Superbikes. Two more bikes up the road there. Could be Detroit and Scaling. It is. Hank Scaling and Michael Detroit fighting for second place in the Bridgestone Superbikes. About to be caught though by the 6'9" of David McFadden. Will he roll out of them and let them get through, complete their race? No, it looks like he's going to just let them get to the lead and possibly hang on before the checkered flag comes out. It does come out for McFadden. He's a happy man. Punching there as he crosses the line. A double race win there for that incredible team. Flash is certainly happy about that. It's a big pity that the Cape Town Massive are not here. But of course he'll be very happy with the results there from his Stunt SA, RPM Centre and Mad Max Motorcycles. Oh, change up for the lead in the 600s. Down into turn 5. Roberts, oh, what a big moment there for Staffen. Whew, how did Staffen miss the back end of Brett Roberts there? Trying to do the block pass, and Brandon Staffen had to sit it up in the final stages, giving Brett Roberts a chance to take the second victory of the day. The official results there, McFadden from Sella. Brett Roberts in third place overall, as well ahead of Brandon Staffen, and Jonathan Sherwin yet again with a victory in the Bridgestone Superbike Championship. Well done to all the riders on the day. Silverware being handed out there for all of the efforts being put out on the black stuff. And looking forward to the next round, which David McFadden has a championship lead heading into. That's on the 29th of May. We head down to Aldo Scribanti in Port Elizabeth. Look forward to all that action here from the NGK SA SBKs. All the South African Superbike action is proudly brought to you by NGK Spark Plugs, Bridgestone Tyres, and Hero Motorcycles.